Critical Blast, where pop culture gets blasted.
And hello, everybody. I am RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor here at CriticalBlast.com. And once again, it is time for the Knights of the Round Table. No, wait, the LCS guys. And with us tonight, we have, I'll bring in one at a time, we have Yule Carter from Berkeley, California. Yule, how are you doing out there at Fantastic Comics?
I'm doing pretty okay. We're getting customers trickling in, finding out that we're open, and yeah, we're doing pretty good.
Awesome. And from Little Rock, Arkansas, we have Michael Tierney, Overstreet contributor, and now out of the brick and mortar and into the mail order business. Michael, how's things going with that now?
Oh, doing great. It's nice to have a little more free time. I'm actually getting a full night of sleep every now and then.
Excellent, excellent. And we have Dave Dyer from Cosmic Comics in Belleville.
Hello, hello.
Dave, how's everything going with you at Cosmic?
Came off of I'm glad the week's over. It was a damn busy week. I love that. We're kicking ass and taking names.
All right. And we had with us Larry from Larry's Comics, but Larry kind of ducked out on us while we were starting up here. I assume he's going to be back real soon here. Oh, my goodness. So
he already didn't like one of us, so he's out.
he's out. Screw this. This is Mickey Mouse outfit. I don't want any part of it. Taints my name.
Right.
So first week of Marvel shipments since the pencil's down, guys. And you know, to kick it all off and to make it a celebratory event and just to make sure that everybody saw Marvel Comics just leaping off the shelves, they had an event, a variant cover event.
Yeah, let's not even do like that. The free comic book summer event. Yeah. Jesus.
Well,
man.
I was thinking more of the Marvel Comics come out on a Wednesday event.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Worst variant covers ever.
Amen. God, what a joke those Wednesday covers was.
Yeah, I don't think we could see what they looked like when we were ordering them. At least I didn't notice it, you know.
No, because all it said was I'm pretty sure you guys assumed the same thing, that it said Wednesday, but it was going to be. I was under the assumption it was going to be a really cool special cover.
Wasn't just going to be the words Wednesday, yeah. Yeah, they got me
says
too.
On Wednesday, and a logo.
Yeah, all these comics that nobody will ever be able to sell.
Exactly, I'll be stuck with a bunch
Got
of
us
them.
again.
Oh, yeah, it's a, and I'd seen Larry on another show, and that's why I invited him on here because he had some good insights. So I hope he comes back. Hope his iPhone didn't crap out on him there.
Yeah, I don't want to steal his lines or anything, so.
Oh, well, yeah, sure.
Yeah, he had some good ones. Good zingers on him.
Yeah, but he talked about the quality of the paper, even for the covers, was like they were printed on toilet paper.
Yeah, I actually, on one of mine, I forget what it was completely wrinkled, the cover.
Oh, my God.
It was terrible. I was like, what the hell? I said, give me a credit. I don't even want this back. So, yeah, it was Spider-Woman. And, yeah, it was just this crinkle went all the way down the center. Terrible.
Terrible.
Yep.
All right, so as we're getting people into the chat here, let's talk about these books that came in the last 2 weeks here since we last talked, and find out what's moving for you guys and what has sat on the shelf that nobody wants. We'll start with Yule. We'll just go clockwise.
What sits on the shelf that nobody wants? Well, hopefully I have not ordered so many so that I can't, so that it looks that bad. Probably Spider-Woman. I'm still going off the numbers that I thought I was going to be selling before we had actually moved locations. Obviously, prior to COVID, I lowered the numbers, but probably I should have done that a little bit more, considering everything else. That's probably the book I have the most amount of. But as far as like Dark Knight's, Death Metal, Empire, Avengers, Venom, I ordered perfect so that I don't have to worry about, eating the cost of comic books, because right now it doesn't seem like it's something that I want to, I don't want to have to deal with, not selling something. That's not the time for that to happen.
Yep, absolutely. And we do have Larry back in the chat. Larry, we had just we were just going around talking about what's selling this past 2 weeks and what's not. But before that, we did talk about those glorious event covers from Marvel this past week.
They were very well done. I mean, Marvel editorial. Those guys are on the ball, and I think they did a real solid by printing them for us this week on disgusting toilet paper. I mean, that's really nice.
It's so that we could consider ourselves an essential business in case anything happens.
Right.
We've got this.
Can I? I'm new at doing YouTube, and I got Tourette's syndrome. Sometimes I talk over people. I get YouTube Tourette's. I got a question for you guys. Nice to meet you. Do you think that somebody at Marvel actually thought they were doing a series of variants, or do you think this was like an eternal joke? Like, I mean,
Talk about the Wednesday covers.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? Not the worst covers ever.
It's the worst covers ever. But did somebody there actually make an effort and think they were doing a series of variants, or is this almost like an internal joke? Let's see what we can shove down these boobs' throats and make them buy. I mean, there was no effort in that.
Yeah, Larry, I kind of agree with you on that. When I looked at that, I was just like, you guys got to be kidding me that you're even doing this. So it feels like they were pulling a joke on us, One of my customers said, do you think they just, that the artists that were designing that specific cover pulled their covers at the last minute? I mean, who knows? There's all kinds of conjecture out there as to why.
The whole thing was a dig at DC releasing on a Tuesday. And the ire
it's a dig at the creative community, too. Do you think there might have been 10 artists out there who could have used a cover gig during the COVID era? I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Marvel, it sort of felt like a fuck you to the comic book stores and to the customers. And it really did. Because like you said, we're all going to be sitting on those covers and not be able to get rid of them. I guess when I'm in the bathroom and we run out of toilet paper, I'll just have my wife bring me the Spider-Woman cover or something,
Can you give me one of those sold on a Wednesday comic covers?
The thing about Spider-Woman is at least a key issue. It's the first appearance of a character. I don't know about you guys. I do back issues, and I've never seen the modern market right now. I've never seen anything like it, like the price gains, and what modern books are selling for. I mean, just today, one of those AWA Hour books, the Zero title, $60 on eBay for number one. I mean, it's crazy. I listed them today on Amazon for $36, and I sold 2 of them in an hour. I mean, that pays for the entire order of everything left over. I order a little different than you guys do. I mean, I decided when I did this 30 years ago that I wanted to be the last. This is all I ever wanted to do, and I would be the last man standing. I would go down with the ship. I order with a heavy hand, for today, tomorrow, and the day after. I mean, I like ordering comic books.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't do the whole online thing as much as I want to. I am dealing with like a little bit more of vintage stuff, but I would like to do the everyday stuff also.
Yeah, that's great too.
Yeah, I mean, you get those Thor 5s and it's hot right now. You might as well move them at a higher price, obviously.
I'd rather sell Thor 5. I would rather sell Thor 5 to somebody who had heard about Donny Cates and wanted to get into comic books. So then I could sell him everything he's ever done. And then I could sell him Jason Aaron's run. And then introduce him to Walter Simonson. There's many different ways, you know what I mean, to, take care of a customer. Very intoxicating, though, is who are these people online that are paying willingly and happily these insane prices for modern books? I mean, makes it interesting.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I think people are afraid of missing out. It's like you have to hit it quick as a retailer because, like, how about the Legion with the first appearance of the Gold Green Lantern? That book, you can't even get cover price out of it now, but it was really hot there for just about a week.
Yeah,
And,
they have windows of opportunity. And you
Yeah,
got
look what they're doing with what was it? The Amazing? No, the Venom. Venom that came out this week. The variant cover, and I knew some stores that were on the second printing of what was it, 25-second printing, that variant cover. Some shops are charging $15 to $20 for it, and I'm just like, I hate that price gouging. We've talked about this in the past, Larry. You were part of that conversation, but I'm not a fan of any shop that jacks the price up because it's hot. I'm very honest with my customers. I sell it at book price. Now, if they want to buy it from me at $3.99 or $4.99, whatever the cover price is, and then put it on eBay and charge $20 for it, that's up to them. But as a shop, this is my job. My job is to sell you a comic, the customer, and to be fair about that comic. Now, if it's a 1 in 10, okay, or 1 in 25, sure. If it's a ratio, then yeah, I get, you charge a higher price for it. But yeah, it's a fine line, man. It's a fine line.
I don't charge over cover price for modern comic books in my store. I never have since 1988. I almost envious of the shops that can get away with it. In New England, the comic book market, you can go outside. I could go outside my door and throw a rock in any direction, and I'm going to hit at like a potentially Eisner award-winning store. I mean, there's a lot of us up here. You can't treat customers like that, and expect to build a customer base. There's a lot of shops in New England.
Yeah, I would never do that in store for sure. I always feel like a shithead if I do something like that also.
Unfortunately, I know too many shops that do that in my area.
Well, it's like Larry said, you're trying to build a customer that's going to come back, not just spend $40 up front, but, $40 over the course of a week or a month, and then, it's $80 and $120, and it's like your lifetime customer. And, you have a fan of whatever that thing might be, and you're probably going to just turn them off immediately when they know they have to drop $50 to pick something up. They're like, oh, I don't really care. It's like,
and likewise, they lose interest when they come in and you don't have it because they didn't tell us that they were going to be doing anything special with the book. So we were sold out, like in the first hour.
Well, I feel like they do they hype the book usually right around after we do our final order cutoff,
exactly.
Right?
After final cutoff.
You got to do your due diligence, fellas. For moderns
Sure thing.
out there, you have to have your finger on the pulse of the market, and you have to dig around for that information. I follow all these people on social media. I try to read or know everything that's going on. And I mean, I've been like this for 30 years. It seems like a lot of work, but it's the only thing I really love, I've been doing it
38, Larry, and you probably remember what was the best-selling book you ever had? The Death of Superman 75. They told us in advance they were going to do it, got all the customers interested. They didn't do a bait and switch like they did with Batman 50 and the wedding of Batman and Catwoman. They actually did kill them in the book, and it was the hottest thing ever. That day, I couldn't even take the phone off the hook to try to, because every time you hit the switch to try to hang it up, there's already another caller on it. It's like every person in the city turned like zombies and walked all to the comic book stores at the same time. Biggest selling book I ever had. I sold thousands.
Can I tell you my Superman 75 story?
Yeah,
I ordered 1,000 black bags, and I ordered 200 of the newsstand, and I had ordered several hundred of the issues coming up to it. We were supposed to have John Bogdanovich, the guy who did Man of Steel series.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he was supposed to be signing at my store and another kid's store, competitor's store, 40 miles away. So that signing ended up falling through. The phone rang off the wall. We had the TV station in there. We had radio stations in all day. We were in the newspaper. My dad stopped by, and he said, what? Don't sell these to these people at $3. Larry, opportunities here. Make some money. Charge whatever you want. These guys will pay anything. I said, Dad, I usually sell 25 Supermans a month. I'm a new business. If I sell these people Superman 75 at cover price, they're never going to forget me. And I'm going to have instant customer base here. I mean, these people will never forget the solid that I did them. 6 months later, I was back to selling 25 Supermans again. So there's something to the lesson when you have lightning in a bottle. You know what I mean? Use that lightning in a bottle. Because, I mean, I couldn't have been nicer and more accommodating to people that day and tried to, teach them about comic books and Superman and everything. What else can we get you? And they all fucking disappeared. I mean, I gave out 1,200 of them at cover price when others were charging 25, 50, 75. Now, the John Dog Bonnevie signing ended up turning into a Dan Jurgens signing, but only for the other store. So, I mean, it was a great day of business. It really put my store on the map. But, I mean, I took great care of people. And, being that kind to people really didn't pay off.
So what you're saying is, if there's anything similar, jack that price up.
Well, I think the modern day Larry Doherty, if he had the same situation, he might have taken 400 of those Supermans from his store stock and sold them online. You know what I mean? Where he didn't have to look the customer in the eye at top market value. And then he may have picked the 25 best ones and submitted them to CGC for a signature signing. I mean, the point is, when you have something that people want, you have to look how it's going to benefit you in the long run. You know what I mean?
How much are they going for now?
No, could be $1. I mean, I got dozens of them in the warehouse, dozens of them. I mean, but the point is, I had something everybody wanted, and I tried it one way, and it really didn't pay off the way that I thought it was going to pay off. I would argue with my dad.
That brings up an interesting point, because Michael and Larry, you both told me how many copies you ordered of that book in preparation. What's the last title that you guys bought more than 100 copies of?
Oh, I order like a pig. I'm the wrong guy to ask that. The maximum Marvel comic that I ordered was 17,000 of an issue.
That's a lot.
I mean, I'm a swine.
Wow.
Yeah,
it was a Star Wars
good.
Darth Vader miniseries so I could get 3 of the 1 in 5,000s.
Oh,
yeah.
How'd
did
those do
It
for
was a
you?
good series to do
Outrageous.
on the
Outrageous. I mean, phenomenal. I used to have a deal with a repacker on the back end that he would take any Marvel comic. He would buy any Marvel comic off of me for $1 that he could put on the top of his pack in his stores. Those bags that go into the mass market stores. If it was $3.99 or higher. So I got the 3 1 in 5,000s. I printed Phantom variant, which I had. I think at the time I had 36 to 50 stores in that. So I sold the books to the shops, and then sold off all the variants, and then sold the rest of them for $1. I mean, I did outrageous.
Oh, that's
okay.
awesome.
But yeah, I mean, I can't think of the last time we had an event though. Larry, your ordering habits notwithstanding here, where I think what a shop would say, hey, give me more than 100 copies of this. You probably would have done it for The Last Walking Dead.
Well, you wouldn't have known it was the last Walking Dead also, though.
Well,
I mean,
Yule, I unpacked my books right away. When I saw it coming out of the box, those were still in stock at Diamond.
I see.
As soon as I saw that book, I mean, I ran as fast as I could to the computer. And, I got my direct order coming for Friday.
Right.
I did reorder it. I've still got first printings. I never ran out.
Yeah. That's that's being on the West Coast. It can be a little bit of a disadvantage when it comes to that kind of thing, like being able to get that order quick, see what's going on. I see sometimes people talk about things like a whole day earlier than when I get my books, and I mean, hey, it is what it is.
But Yule, do you actually care about stuff like that? Would you like to hit that type of stuff? Like today, when that AWA title got hot, when the Year Zero, did you go into the Diamond system and see what was available? Did you place a back order? Are you
Larry,
aggressive about this?
I'm getting effed by Diamond all the time right now. So
That sucks.
I got Year Zero number 3, and even though I ordered 1 and 2, I never got any of those. And it's a mini series, and it's like, what good is number 3? You know, it's not going to do me any good. I can't get 1 and 2. You know, and
Here's the good thing about Diamond.
pardon me.
The good thing about Diamond though now is that you know, Steve Jeppy is back in charge, and I just want to show you guys he's at it.
Is that really
working
from
hard.
recently?
That was on his Facebook page like less than a week ago.
Well, I can't fault him that. If my books aren't getting shipped properly, and that's the reason,
I thought you
that's
I
okay.
I don't think they're packing. I don't think they're packing any orders.
Yeah,
I
the
got a-
Year
I got a
Zero
horrible
was
feeling about
upsetting.
Diamond.
I saw people
Horrible
like,
feeling.
this is hot, and I'm like, all right, I can't wait. And yeah, it just doesn't show up. And
It wasn't
you
hot
know,
until
Who
today.
else is,
Yeah.
from Olive Branch? Who else here is getting it from Olive Branch other than me?
Not me.
nah.
Oh,
I saw you on something, Michael, and I heard your story, and I felt awful for you. Like when they removed you from Plattsburgh, and that just the treatment you got at Olive Branch. I mean, I don't know what I would do.
It keeps
I don't know
getting
what I
worse.
would
Well,
do.
You do what I did. You close your retail stores because you can't make a living at it when your products are all showing up late. And
That
they just
sucks,
announced
man.
this weekend that this week they got more trouble at Olive Branch. That they've got another COVID restriction put on. They're going to have to reduce their staff, which they were already running with limited staff, and they were already having so much trouble trying to find people to come in and work to pack it that now they're going to try to get, you know. And the problem is their voice software that tells them go to aisle 7, bin 9, pull 3 copies. You know, they don't even know what it is they're pulling. You put the wrong book
They're
in, they don't
making
know.
so many mistakes. I honestly, I love Steve, and
Oh, yeah, me
I love the company, and
But Olive
I don't
Branch
like what it's grown into. But I honestly believe in my heart of hearts right now that they're not going to make it through this year. I
Well, and they
can't
just can't
see
get good
how
help
they
at
make
Olive
it.
Branch. I mean, now they're getting ready to try to get that terrible recognition or voice recognition software to would be Spanish speaking. So maybe they can try to get some Spanish people in there. And I used to date a girl who translated Spanish for the state of Arkansas, and she told me, you know, Spanish is not an easy language to translate. So this does not bode well at all. I mean, it's already a system that's right.
They're making
now you're gonna have a language problem.
such huge mistakes. I don't see how they spin out of this. Last week, the first week in June, I ordered a couple. I ordered a bunch of the Marvel sale omnibuses. I had 2 pallets of Marvel omnibuses coming to me.
Mhm.
They kept telling me different excuses where they were coming to, and they finally gave me a tracking number. And I tracked them last week out to California. That's when I had asked you, you know, if you knew the guy in California whose store they went to. Then I investigated with the trucking company. They didn't just send my pallets out there. This guy got 18 on the 1st of July. A tractor trailer pulls up at his store with 18 pallets that aren't his, and they unload them at his store. And a fucking Diamond employee did that. I mean, it's the mistakes they're making. I have friends who are getting their books entirely damaged. People who aren't receiving books. People are calling in damages on them. Shortages. They're fucking up left and right. How do they spin out of this? I can't see it. I don't know what endgame is,
applied
man.
a fix, Larry. They've applied a fix. They applied it this week. It's going to take care of everything. They raised their shipping rates.
Here's the thing. Shipping
They're
rates
outrageous already.
across the country are up.
Yeah.
Steve is a 70-year-old man who's coming out of retirement to try to fix this. I mean, my heart is with Steve. I don't see how he does this. I think everything that he does, he genuinely thinks that he's doing something good. That campaign he came up with the logo, I mean, he didn't do that. That wasn't a malicious thing. He really thought he was helping us. I mean, he's out of touch. This is going to end poorly.
I think you're right. We had to call Diamond, and because we haven't we haven't got our bill for like the last couple of shipments, and so now we are stuck in a situation to where we have to call them to let them know that we owe them money and we're ready to pay it right here. And so we call our our person, Maria. She's retiring. She's retired. She gave us a number of someone to talk to, and she didn't sound positive then.
Well, Diamond didn't have money to pay people, and they had to lay people off. But during the entire COVID, I mean, I was getting small orders from them every week. They were shipping out, stuff that they had in there, and I amassed, a massive bill. Over COVID, and they didn't fucking think to, I would reach out and say, hey, how do we pay the bill? And they didn't care. And that was across the board with people. I mean, that's just poor money management. They could have had one person on the phone. I mean, a couple thousand Diamond accounts. I'm sure people besides me had money that they could still pay. If I get a shipment from them, I like to pay within my terms. Yeah. And they let it build up over months. It's like they just weren't managing their money. Did they want their account depleted, so maybe that helped them with a loan or something? I don't know, but it was just strange that they didn't make any effort to collect a bill for
the bill collector should be the last person to let go, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, seriously.
And they got a bulldog there.
Well, they've taken some hits at Diamond. I mean, obviously DC pulling out was huge, and then just a little bit of after that, and this was announced in March. So their games division, and Dave, you put me onto this, so I can't remember the names of the companies right now. But who was the game company that pulled out of their games division to go direct distribution?
Asmodee.
Right.
Yeah, Asmodee pulled out from Alliance, and that is huge. That's a huge hit on Alliance, which is. Same company.
So is that like the DC?
I was talking with somebody this week that there's paperwork being signed Friday. We're gonna hear another publisher that's going with the new distributors. I'm afraid next week. So, and it ain't a real small one.
And Diamond. Oh my God! I think this was the first show I actually went on, and I was, because I don't know Steve, and he seems like a cool dude and everything, I mean, I bet I'd want to if he's sitting down with me and we're talking comic books, I bet I'll love him. If he's got all those ladies around him, I'll love him even more, But I didn't know how. I didn't know if this was going to be something he wanted to actually fix, because he's an older guy, and everybody always pisses on Diamond. I mean, even if you like them, you probably have something negative to say about it, and do you want to hear this all this time, along with the sickness, along with bills that are and all these companies griping at you and everything? I would be like, I'll wash my hands of this crap, So I wasn't sure if he'd want to keep it going. And now, because of everything we're saying, and Larry, you come in with this exclamation point, I don't know about Diamond's future.
I think it's going to be a year before Jeppy just calls up Luna and I can't remember the other one, just says, hey, you guys want to buy some warehouses?
Yeah.
The supposedly book distributors want to buy Diamond. Jeppy has turned down. I forget the name of the book distributor, but there's been a book distributor who's had an eye towards Diamond, and Steve has said that it's not for sale. Has he sold Diamond? Is this a transition period that we're in right now? The place is so dysfunctional right now. It's a shadow of what it was once before, and I mean, I don't see any way that they're fixing it. It seems like they're laying off more people. If you're a long-term sales representative, you've been furloughed or let go. I'll email people who've been within the company for years that I have contacts with, and their emails bounce. I mean, it's a scary time. I've heard from somebody that they've hired temp service customer service people who are professional customer service people, but know nothing about comic books. And they've obviously been hiring some of those for the handling of the books. We'll receive boxes that are just pristine on the outside, and they've been shoved in by Knuckles McGee, and they're all got that fucking telltale.
The warehouses are where the core of the problem is. Yeah.
Well, what else has been happening with Diamond, and I know, and it's getting to the point where I'm besides always being frustrated, this makes me even more frustrated. So every shipment, like we've all been talking in the past, there's always something that's wrong with my shipment. I didn't get this, or this has been damaged, or they sent me too many of this copy that I didn't order. And so I write them, and then usually, I would get 2 weeks ago, or a month ago, I would get a reply back within 24 hours. Now, 3 days later, I still haven't gotten a reply back. Or a week later, I haven't gotten a reply back, and now I'm already dipping into next week's shipment. So then I've got overlapping emails that I've sent to them about damages and shortages or whatever. And I keep getting this robo thing back that says we're experiencing high demand or whatever. And I'm like, what the hell's going on over there? Has everybody just gotten up and quit, or just fire everybody, or what? And then finally, this week, I got a pretty quick response. But even the response I got was, okay, where's my reorder then? Because they usually always will send you a reorder or a credit. And I'm like, well, where's that at? So tell me that the ticket's been marked finished or completed. You still haven't sent me a verification. So I have no clue what the hell's going on.
What's going on is that it's a company. I think we're witnessing a company in their death throes.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, yeah.
So I should worry about paying my bill right now.
I'm
joking.
I don't like to beat anybody out of money, but I would pay him.
No.
Well, no matter what, you still got to give a check over to UPS if you're doing COD like I do.
Funny about that.
Yeah, it's obsolete way to do business. So,
did y'all get the notice that Diamond is, or not Diamond, but DC is now going to start having their final order cutoff on a Friday now instead of Mondays?
Well, I got my DC books on Friday, and I usually get my Diamond DC books on Tuesday. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'm fine with doing the final order cutoff a couple days late if they can get them to me that early. I mean, that's fucking fantastic. Bring it on.
Yeah.
Bring it on. Keep that
I get
up.
mine on Friday too, and then I get my Marvels late on Tuesdays. Very late.
I when it came in, I'm pinching myself. I mean, I've never had it. I've never had it this good. Never had it this good. And my entire career.
The DC order in minutes, and it'd be the same size as the Diamond order. But the Diamond order, because it's just so jumbled up, it takes forever to unpack it because you just.
But that's not true for me, because
I'm coming from.
Why can't they let you service from Plattsburgh? I mean, Plattsburgh is a team of semi-professionals. I praise Diamond all the time, and people, retailers across the country, they're just like, Larry, you're a Diamond rump swab. You're fucking lying. I mean, I've had trouble with Plattsburgh, but when I have trouble with them, the way that it would be is if something was missing or damaged, I would call them and they would replace it. And I mean, it was the exception to the rule. I mean, they were excellent for 30 years. Yeah. Excellent.
I used to be serviced out of Plattsburgh, and they were great.
It's the best.
They forced me to go out of Olive Branch, and that's when
that sounds. I forget what show you were on, but I listened to your story. It's very similar to my own. I just sold my building of 30 years last year too. So I mean, we're in the catbird seat.
Yeah. I think it was on Thinking Critical, wasn't it?
Yeah. Great interview. Great interview.
Oh, like good show. This going way back to the Wednesday comic cover thing here because I don't want to let a good joke go to waste, but it's not really a joke. It's sort of a sad commentary, but I think it would have been. Well, I think it would have been hilarious if they'd have done all those Wednesday covers and then because of Diamond, you guys didn't get them till Thursday.
Well, I didn't get my Venom variant, so that happened.
That's it. That sucks because that's the saving grace. That's bailed me. That's been $15 online and just hot as a pistol. That Venom book is the one that I ordered the most of, and I just can't ship them fast enough.
Well, I was short several of those Wednesday comics. I wish Diamond won't let you cancel an order. They're going to still ship them to me next week, probably.
Yeah, it sucks.
And
Nobody wants
with them, just throw them away.
Yeah, you guys were mentioning that you don't like the you think Spider-Woman's a bad book. I think that.
Oh, I just said it didn't sell as well. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, it didn't sell right now, but what first appearance of a Marvel character do you lose money on over time? I mean, over time they all in this market, they're all just having their moment in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well with all the TV and everything, especially, you know.
Oh yeah, Davis figured out how to make money because apparently you're selling underwear.
Nice.
No, I'm not. But we're trying. In fact, my wife and I today, we were trying to figure out how to. We want to get face masks with our company logo on there. Oh my God, it's a little piece of fucking cloth, and they're like $8 a piece. Like, come on, man.
Print them yourself for $8.
I know exactly. So I might go to the underwear. It might be cheaper. Who knows?
Yeah, print on underpants and then bring around your face.
There you
and
go.
you had told me today too about when we were talking about the Diamond shipping rates. You said there's another toy company that has impacted this. And since you're the big toy guy here, talk about that.
NECA announced this week that they are no longer going to be producing Godzilla toys.
Whoa.
And that is huge.
Yeah.
So now that's Bandai and NECA who are no longer producing Godzilla toys. And I one of my things here, Larry, is that I have the largest retail selection of Godzilla in the Midwest and Central Illinois area. So that's a major hit right there. So I immediately got out to EE Entertainment, asked them, are they going to fulfill what I already have on pre-order? And what about the stuff that's on back order? Are they going to fill that? And he's like, I really don't know, Dave, but, order what you want. Usually they'll allow us to do one more PO before they'll cut us off. So I ordered every damn thing I could get because once it's done, that's done. So I don't know what's going on in the world of Godzilla as I'm wearing my Godzilla shirt, but the toy industry is shifting. There's something going on in the toy industry too. It's just weird stuff going on, man.
Here's something that's going on in the comic industry that just a few people are starting to figure out this week. DC has shifted their model a little bit more drastic than
it's drastic.
we
They're
had
going direct now, aren't they?
Well, that's a separate thing that I'm talking about. That's a sub-subject. But what they're doing is to keep the periodical revenue, the comics coming in. They set up the two little really cheap distributors, but their deal with those guys is those guys don't have mechanism or space to deal with backstock. They're taking our orders and they're essentially printing the comics for our order. There's reorders. If we get a reorder on something, it's a mistake. These books the past few weeks, the backlist of those, I mean, they try to find the Doom Patrol 7 in the country. I know. They're very, very, very difficult right now. But
it's kind of exciting for collecting, though.
I tried to do some reorders with Lunar on issues that I was originally gotten from China. And like the customer goes, I want to get a Doom Patrol. I forget what it actually was that he wanted. Oh, it was Batman's Grave number 6. Well, I had ordered it from Diamond. I never got it from Diamond on the reorder. Now Diamond's not doing any DC.
They are. They're doing it till everything they have in stock. They're supposed to be selling till the end of the year, and I suspect that they're going to end, if they're still in business, why wouldn't they end up just buying the inventory as opposed to DC has no distributor that supposedly has mechanism to do back issues?
But here's my question then. All right, so I go into Diamond and I order my Batman Grays, which I already did a long time ago. I still haven't gotten it. I mean, how do I know if I order it from Diamond that I'm even going to get it? Because they're not. It's not like they're sending us a list going, "Hey, this is what we got left. So hurry up, read down it, and order what you want. Because when it's gone, it's gone." I don't know what to tell my customer because I can't order this collectible through Diamond, so I have to wait till Lunar comes up or go to EE. And I already sent E Entertainment a huge list or an email because I told them, and I think we discussed this last time, that they're going to have to start breaking up cases. I don't fucking need a case of this pop, this DC pop, or a case of DC collectible Wonder Woman figures. I just want two, you know? And I wrote them, and they said, well, send it up to the upper echelon. Because I said, you guys, if you're the only ones carrying DC collectibles, you can't force us to buy a case if we don't want one. You have to give us the option like we had with Diamond to get 1, 2, 3 of something and not have to buy a fucking case of something. So, and that's my problem that's going on right now is I'm stuck in a limbo where I don't know if Diamond got it or not because they won't confirm. I mean, sure, I can, you know, when I reorder it, you go to your confirm and it says, thank you for your confirmation, or here's your confirmation. Still, what does that fucking mean? It doesn't mean they're going to send it to me. Because
I would order from each and hope I get one.
Exactly. But see, but my problem is there you go with EE, you're going to have to buy a case of it. You know, I'm a little guy. I'm 1,500 square feet.
Me too.
You know?
I'm too.
Okay? I don't need a case of it. Of anything. That's where I'm frustrated, guys. Really frustrated with that. I have to budget. I'm pinching my money, especially now with COVID. You know, everybody's taking a hit. We can't take on more than what we can chew. And we all know what works for our shop.
Well, the thing is like Larry's saying, you know, you gotta sometimes expand in these moments, especially now that you know that DC is printing very, very tight margins, just like so many stores are ordering. Even though Lunar's actually getting the product to the stores timely, even. It's only what you order on FOC. It's not going to be available later on. I mean, you have to.
I kind of like that.
It's nice, but I also.
But it makes our inventory is never going to become worthless. Our inventory is always going to be in demand.
I don't disagree. I had a. There was a time when I really used the DC. You know, having their stock at Diamond, and this was, you know, now we're talking
advantage.
we're talking like 15, 17 years
you
now.
Had it,
Pardon me?
It was in stock at if it was in stock there, it was in stock at your store. You
know,
yeah,
exactly.
Without you tying up your money, you're a portal to this massive inventory. I understand what you're saying.
And you know, I was perfectly willing to tap into that and keep using it because, you know, it was so perfect that way. But it's a long time from that time.
Well, DC is about to get a big back stock, because you notice on the returns that they made available this week that it did the announcement of the 3 stages, and they want full copy returns, so they're about to get a whole lot of copies.
I shipped out an awful lot of them Friday.
Yeah,
I did wave 1.
All right.
Because when they announced that it was returnable, I just ordered anything that I thought would be decent. It's returnable. I'll buy 200. I mean, I didn't run out of anything. I had it all.
I was ordering conservatively because I was thinking, well, this is probably not even good enough to get me through a Wednesday. But with the COVID thing just knocked off the foot traffic so bad in my stores, it was too much, and I was returning it. I mean, so stuff I didn't think would even get me through the initial day of release, and I ended up having copies to send back. That's how much my foot traffic was impacted. Down here in the state, they just passed a mandatory everybody has to wear a face mask out in public statewide. So I'm not having to have my stores now and have to wear a mask all day. But we're really living in a bizarre world where masked men come into your store and hand you money.
Yeah. Now you don't amass inventory anymore, do you, Michael? Doing the mail order thing, you just ship the order, or
I'm still into where I was having to guess. This week I got both from Diamond and from UCS, the Stanley Lau Volume 2 art book, which I ordered way back in January. I wasn't thinking about closing the store back then. And, and of course, the way they ship them.
Scan it to Amazon, man.
That's what I have to do. But the bad thing is with the shipping from both those companies, I'm already like upside down $6 into each copy. I've already had to pay $6 more than what each copy retails for after the shipping, because they shipped each one of them shipped them in these giant boxes. And I'll never get. I can't even think about getting to break even. It's a loss right from the start. No chance.
It's not a loss right from the start. That DC is only going to be producing the top 100 graphic novels for our distributors, and maybe the top 200 graphic novels in print for their bookstore friends, for the bookstore market. DC backstock is going to tumble out of print, and if you're on Amazon, out of print trade paperbacks are just back issues with thicker spines. The money is filthy. I've been going on Diamond's inventory. I've been devoting 2 hours a day to seeing, as they're organizing the warehouse, I'm seeing what pops into stock, and I'm buying stuff that I'm anticipating is going to go out of print. I mean, that poster book, if you can put it on a shelf for 6 months, you're not going to lose $6 on it. I mean, don't dump it. DC backlist is, if it's not the top 200 titles, they're not going to be keep it in print. They're focusing on doing young adult graphic novels for the library market, Scholastic, and their bookstore friends. That's where their focus is this year. They're just producing periodicals and the top 100 and 200 books in print, and then everything else.
What do you think, Larry, if there isn't school, in the fall, right? Let's just say there's a lot of places where it looks like there isn't going to be a lot of school. And if DC is putting a lot of, hopes, putting eggs in that basket as far as like the Scholastic book program and stuff like that, could that, I mean, they're looking in the far future on that one.
The Scholastic book, everybody will be doing remote learning, and the Scholastic book fair will go off just as planned, but it will be online, and a kid is still going to say, "Mom, how much can I get in books?" And the books I don't know if you've ever been to a Scholastic book fair. The books with more pictures than words are rock stars. Yeah. I mean, it's shooting fish in a barrel. Every parent is trained like you're a bad parent if you're not buying your kid $100 worth of books at the book fair. Right. Every kid wants books. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm glad that DC has found a new revenue stream. That's what it's all about in business, is opening up new revenue streams. What I'm disappointed about is how they just fucking turned their back and abandoned the direct market. They just look and they just saw a girl with bigger titties, and they've dumped us. I mean, they won't even speak or engage to you on their retailer board. Their communication through this was disgraceful. And, all their efforts are geared towards, these sparkly new markets and just maintaining this. We'll print the periodicals for these boobs, and, we don't have to worry about a backlist. I mean, they suck. Yeah,
it definitely feels that way. And then you add in with that Marvel, variant cover scheme. It just seems like none of the main two companies really give a crap about, comic stores.
It's Marvel's job to scheme and scam us and to trick us. Usually, you know what I mean, smart retailers don't fall for it. They fucking got me on this one. This was a pretty good one. They made them so ugly that I thought it was a joke. Like, I was like, that can't be what they're shipping out. Like, it was like a reverse psychology. I overthought that thing.
Oh no, Larry, I only got a couple.
Larry, you said you'd heard rumblings that another semi-major publisher might be pulling out of Diamond distribution.
I did. I don't know who the publisher is. I have somebody who works in a place that he would know that, let's say they were acquiring another type of business, another volume of business. And he said that on Friday that he knew that papers were being signed, and he would expect that this week or close to this week that they would be able to answer. And then I was kind of digging, and I was like, oh yeah, it's tough. It's tough for a small publisher, and it's tough for a small publisher in this market or whatever. And he said, this kid spit back and said, they ain't that small. So
I'm wondering if it's Dynamite.
could be. They're right down there. I had heard that Midtown is doing this business across the river in New Jersey, and I know that Nikki is right across the river in New Jersey, and maybe that'd make a little bit of sense for him. Technically, Diamond breached anybody who was an exclusive publisher with Diamond. When Diamond stopped, if they breached their contract with DC, well, they breached their contract with Dynamite and Boom and all those guys. Those guys are free to do whatever they want. By that, I mean, I wouldn't want to be going before a judge and saying they closed down, judge, when the city told them to close down during a pandemic. If I was the judge, I'd say, I'd uphold it. But
Right.
DC thought they had, a good enough case to break up with Diamond because of it.
Well,
so.
the reason I was wondering if it was Dynamite is because for the past week and a half to 2 weeks here, there's been a dog pile of creators.
Because he's been so.
On
he's been so. Nick Barucci is
he's Hitler apparently.
I'll tell you what he is. He is commerce personified. All Nick wants to do is sell comics, and he's not going to. He is not going to gatekeep anybody. He wants to sell comics to everybody, and people are pissed off that he's doing production work for Etherman, Skyver, and a bunch of the Comic Gate fellows. So all these people who I'm not even sure buy comic books are dogpiling on him.
Well, yeah, and today it was a week ago it was Mags Visaggio is on there saying, hey, just letting you know that the CEO of Dynamite gave money in a super chat to somebody on a Comicsgate stream, just so you know.
Nick's a very generous guy. I bet you he gives money on super chats to a lot of streams.
I'm sure he does. That's why we want to get super chats on here, guys. So watch us up to 2,000 hours. Get us where we can take
I've seen him build his publisher, from the start. He's pretty impressive. When I was buying a lot of variant covers, I would work 7 days a week, and if I would get an idea, I would fire off an email at could be 3 a.m. on a Sunday night. Nick always answered the email within a second. When I was working 24/7, Nick never stops. He is the hardest working man I've ever seen. These guys can dogpile him all they want. He's going to do nothing. He's going to yep. I'll tell him that you want him on the show. I can reach out to him. I bet you he would like to come on.
Please do have him on here.
He'll turn their negative energy. He'll take it and he will kung fu it around, and he will make money off of it.
I'd love to get a publisher on here and talk with you guys. But today, last night, I went to bed and Kwanzaa Osajefu, who I
don't even know who these people are who you're saying are complaining.
He's trying to get people to pay attention.
Exactly. Well, Kwanzaa
what does he do? Is he a publisher?
He's a creator. He writes for H1 under Mark Waid over at Humanoids.
Okay.
And he did a book called Black AF, which nobody here sold.
I was going to fist fight.
I did. I sold Black and Black AF. Black more than Black AF, and then there was Black AF, and there was some
I sold
stuff.
So many Black. If you're talking about Black from Black Mask, I sold so many of that. That was a legitimate hot book. I sold so many copies. I used to be big.
You're the one.
Big. Yeah, I used to be a big Black Mask supporter. So now I know who Mags Visaggio is. I bought 500 copies of her book. And then I attended a show that she was at. My deal with Black Mask at the time was if I bought a book and I was supporting it, the creators would if I tweeted something, they'd retweet and engage me. She wouldn't participate at all. And then at New York Comic Con, I complained to them and they just rolled their eyes. I guess that's how she rolls.
Yeah, it is. She's got a moral stance against it. If you talk to certain people, then you've got the cooties.
Her book sucked too. What was it? It was
Quantum Teens Argo.
Nope, that's not the one I bought.
She also did
Vagrant Queen.
Yep. Nope, that's not the one I bought 500 of.
Quantum Teens.
Kim and Kim.
Yep, that's the one I bought. Kim and Kim #1 bought 500 copies. She wouldn't retweet a tweet. And I almost went for a Phantom variant where I would have probably bought 2,000 of them. I'm lucky that I bailed on the Phantom variant because if you're a publisher, part of I guess an unspoken thing is, if you're hiring somebody to do, a series, it's nice if they, do a little bit of legwork and promote you and promote the work. She would do nothing. It
would seem like that you'd
Lazy.
Want to do that. You'd be thankful that somebody's actually selling.
I'd never heard of her. She did nothing. And then the kid who did Black was fantastic. I don't know his name, but that book was that book Black at a period of time up to the local comic shop day when they released it in hardcover form. Black 1 through 5 came out really slow. Was a legitimate hot book for a window of time. Black Mask was poised to be like the next Image, and I don't know what. Like Matt Rosenberg went to Marvel, and I don't know what happened with that company, but they had all the energy and all the excitement. They were getting all the properties, and their company just fucking died, and I don't know why.
I think it's
Kwanzaa
mismanagement. It has to be.
That happens a lot.
Well,
big fan of Kwanzaa. Not a big fan of the other person.
Max Visaggio, and then Mark Russell. Mark Russell, the guy who did Second Coming.
He also did Flintstones recently for DC.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, it was
outrageous. That was one of the most creative books of the last decade.
I like that book a lot.
It was great.
Yeah, he also did
Snagglepuss.
Snagglepuss.
He's really good with Snagglepuss.
Yeah, so he's done some things, but people don't love him. He does Red Sonja for Dynamite.
If you're a store and you're stuck with Snagglepuss and Flintstones, those are books that you scan immediately to Amazon. Those sell constantly on Amazon for multiples and multiples of cover price.
Yeah, those are great books too. I love Flintstones.
Mark Russell does do Red Sonja for Dynamite. Carla Pacheco is doing the new Betty Page series for Dynamite, and both of them are on Twitter throwing Dynamite under the bus. I mean, Carla's was more low key. She's like, "Look, I'm not going to be doing any more work for Dynamite. I'm going to honor my 5-issue contract."
Everybody ragging on Dynamite should just stop it. Nick is one of the kindest, most generous. He's employed so many people over the years. All of these people who are shitting on him are working for him. I mean, what is this industry? Fucking lunatics.
Mark Russell's the one who came out this morning. He blocked me on Twitter, by the way, because I kind of went off on him, and I don't apologize for it. But he basically said that Dynamite is Nazi adjacent, and it's going to become a Nazi company. And I said, fuck this. You need to get that word out of your mouth, because nowhere is Nick Barucci marking millions of people into ovens, and I don't think he's taken over Poland. So quit doing a disservice to the millions of Jews who died because you don't like somebody's fucking politics.
There's too much talky bitching politics in the comic industry. I mean, fucking leave Nick alone. He's got some great books. The book I fucked up on this week was his new Super Six, Secret Six.
Oh yeah,
that
was Christopher book. Priest.
Yeah, Christopher Priest. That looks like a hottie. I ordered zero copies. Had 16 on pre-order.
Yeah, it's not moving very well for me, but I ordered a lot of them. I've got another.
Talk to Dave, Larry.
Yeah,
I've already ordered them from Dynamite.
Oh, you got them
this week.
I got another stack of them coming in next week. I'm like, God, I way over-ordered on this because I thought my Vampirella people would jump on it. Maybe they will.
I think you're going to be good. That looks like a good one.
Well, it's
writing a black Vampirella. That's going to be awesome.
I don't like the covers.
Oh, they're the best. What are you talking about?
I agree.
Jose Ladrone and that Hetrick guy with the.
Hetrick is great. No.
Isn't Hetrick a woman?
Oh, I just meant Hetrick person. I don't know.
I love Jay Lee.
Jay Lee.
Every Jay Lee.
Oh yeah. And he does interiors in it a bit.
Awesome.
It's good looking. I like that book.
Nick's a great guy. That these people fucking tearing him up makes me. When I get off here, I'm going to go up and I'm going to place a big back. Every book that you people take out of Nick's order queue, I'll fucking triple it tonight with the backlist I'm going to give him.
Oh, I like
So,
that.
How do you like that?
Well, just to
I'll
let
get that.
everybody know, this is breaking news. Mark Russell is going to finish his work with Dynamite as of Red Sonja number 24. And he will not be working for them again.
What number is he on now?
I don't know. 17, 18, 20, something.
One thing I learned
get it.
to
It's
do,
good. It's a
one
shame.
thing we all got to learn to do, we have to train our mind. We have to train our body and mind to separate art from artists, because comic creators are wolf pack of dinks. And I like comic books a hell of a lot more than I like these people. You know, Mark Russell, Mags aren't going to piss on my enjoyment of any titles. You know what I mean? I can train my mind to block them out. And if it's something that, you know what I mean, I want to enjoy, I'm going to just I separate art from artist.
You know, the other thing that gets me is the fact
agree.
that there are not that many hiring comic book publishers out there. So why, if you are a name in an industry that people recognize, you would want to piss on a publisher and basically shut off potential revenue streams in the future because you've publicly excoriated and vilified and, in my opinion, libeled certain publishers. You may need that person in the future.
Where's the, you know, I remember hosting I had Robert Kirkman at my store around Walking Dead #9. And when he was at the shop, you know, I talked to him about, you know, the struggle of getting Invincible to press and getting Walking Dead to press and going out and, you know, getting this thing to catch on. And he didn't seem to me, you know, a great guy. He had a great book, but he didn't seem like he was maybe financially doing all that great. And you twinkle your eye and he owns the world. I mean, where is the incentive to work for these fucking publishers anyway? I mean, why wouldn't you, if you're a creator? I mean, the incentive should be to, you know, do your own your own.
I mean, look at Ethan Van Sciver.
And that's the way to go. Uncle
Look
E,
at Ethan Van Sciver. He just left.
He's doing great.
Cyberfrog 2 has passed the $1 million mark on Indiegogo. I think that's almost a record of some kind.
I'm aware. Yeah.
$1 million. Damn.
That's a lot of simoleons.
It's too bad I'm not a fan of anthropomorphic comic books, but you know, it's all good. I love his artwork. I love Uncle E. He's Ethan. His success, I think, can be chimed up to the fact that he's as good an artist as he is. He's equally or better entertainer. His show can be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that's where he's making a lot of money. A lot of these people are making money on their YouTube shows more than I think they probably are on their comic books that they're promoting.
One problem I got with Ethan and the whole Comicsgate gang, though, is in order, for some reason, they've got it through their head, for them to be successful, they have to fucking trash the entire industry and every comic shop in the world. I mean, only a couple dozen people in the industry were nasty to Ethan, and now he seems to want to have it all burned down to the ground. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna go out of business. The mainstream guys like me and Michael, who've been around for 30 years. I mean, when Diamond closed, I just started selling some of my the shit that I've got stacked up for years. I mean, there's dinosaurs in this business that aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, that stuff's still out there, and most stores have a lot of it really quick.
Yes.
Yeah. I love it.
I keep hearing that the industry's dying, and I keep thinking to myself, no, it's not. It's not dying. It might be withering into a chrysalis.
It's changing. It is changing. The comic book industry next year is going to look a little bit different. Let's say Marvel, let's say Disney looks at publishing and decides to farm it out. They're going to have to farm it out somewhere, and they're going to want to sell the comics somewhere, and that's us. I mean, I don't give a shit who makes the Marvel comic books. I don't care.
And there's so many people out there. I mean, my slate next week for live streams is filled up. We're going to have a chill stream tomorrow with Mike Murphy, who does, he's going to kill me for this, Deepwell, which is a Western comic book. And then Monday night, we're going to be talking with the guy who's doing a book called Confederate Monster, which is basically Frankenstein during the Civil War. Tuesday is Red Eyes. Wednesday is Blood Realm with Robert Geronimo. And then Thursday, we're going to have Luke
Is
Weber.
that an alternative book?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't do fantastic with Alterna, but there's certain titles that I do fantastic with, and that's one of the ones I do fantastic with. That's a great
Well, the thing
book.
with Alterna is that you can invest in it and not lose a whole bunch of money if it doesn't sell.
Yeah, the
because
problem with Alterna, it's a double-edged sword, as I've mentioned to Peter before. Shelf space in comic shops is extremely limited. You only have so many facings for a new book. Am I going to put the new Boom book that's $4 that I'm going to make $2, or one of his alternative books that takes up the same amount of space that I make less on? I mean, at some point you get to books that are of similar quality, and you have to make a decision on who you can give the shelf space to. Like, I've looked at his line and boiled it down to the ones that I can turn the units and that makes sense to do it. I can't just because all Alterna books are printed on newsstand and they're cheap, it doesn't mean that I can stock them on the shelf. I can certainly take orders for it for subscriptions. We sell everything, but we do not stock all Alterna books.
You
I
only
don't
have to
stock a 4 or 5 in that space.
There's a few that I get. I gotta actually make an order with him. It's been a while.
The books got a great look about them. I'm proud that he's right around us. He's a local boy made good, so I like to see him do well.
Yeah, I think he's doing a good job. And Blood Realm's an excellent book, by the way. I like that one a lot.
Excellent book. Excellent.
Yeah, that one's really good. And Tinseltown's a really good book, but I mean, it's a hard sell just because of what the subject matter is. But that's an excellent read. I found that one to be a very good book also. So that would be another one I would recommend.
I like his thick format too. That's like $7.95. That's like a little welfare graphic novel. That's a really nice. That's a really nice format. I tried to get him to apply that to ComicGate, where ComicGate. If you were in ComicsGate and you had run a few successful campaigns and you have the files for this, you could then print the Alterna version, that $7.95 thing that then could be solicited through Diamond. So everybody doesn't make money like Ethan. The lower end ComicsGate people, those guys all struggle. And Ethan says he doesn't want to get into shops, but everybody, all those other guys, are fucking licking at the chops to get into the stores.
They would love to get into.
Yeah, and Peter is he's an up and coming publisher, but he's a guy who could use business. That'd be great. Business for him, where he could then take the completed campaigns, put it in that $7.95 format, solicit it through Diamond, and I think that'd be a win-win for everybody. I don't like putting $1.99 books on my shelf. Yeah. When I could be putting $4 books on my shelves.
That makes sense.
There's enough shops where they'd make money because there will be shops that say we're not going to carry this book because who the creator is or who they align with.
Most shops don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
I saw a shop today that said they're no longer going to order Dynamite.
Okay, bye.
It's their loss. I mean. There's good stuff there. I mean, I don't like everything Dynamite does, when
you're a business and you virtue signal like that, you end up and you think that you're attracting people, you end up pissing people off. It's just I'm about comics.
I wish they were local to me. Who was doing that?
I don't know who's doing that, but seriously, it's like if you make the statement, I am not going to carry these comic books. Well, what are you hoping to get here? So you can be like somebody who's like, I want to buy comic books, and that guy won't sell comic books. I'm going to go buy them from him.
You should really make I've mentioned this to Ethan in the past too, is when you're making a statement like that, you should really take the time to make a mental note of who said that, because comic shops are all individual, and when you say comic shops, you throw a blanket statement that encompasses us at all. You should say, Smith's Comics in fucking Arizona isn't going to do this because, it's all individual people. I hate how on the live streams, Ethan will say, our retailers aren't going to order Cyberfrog. Well, no. 7 pissy retailers on the FOC Facebook group said they weren't going to catch. 7 out of 2,000. So don't label all the retailers as that. If you're going to make an accusatory statement, call out names.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
And I should.
prefer.
Well, people don't love it when you do that either. It's funny about that.
Fuck them.
Huh?
I don't want to. I don't want to be mired down in somebody else's shit.
Yeah. No, I hear you. It's just, how it is. And not only that, but being coy gets people a lot more time, or people paying attention to them for a little bit longer also. If I tweet a thread and I started off very, in that way to let people know to pay attention to what I have to say. It's kind of that way when you're not telling people what you're really talking about. Oh, it's a real shame when you find out that someone you really admire is a piece of shit, and it's like, why didn't you tell me who you was a piece of shit? I don't care about your feelings on it,
Well, that's, and then Alex DeCampi comes in and says, if you really want to know, just DM me. You don't
Well,
have to
now
do that.
you're naming names.
Well, Alex DeCampi was in that Whisper Network thing that Bleeding Fool outed last week, and she literally was talking about the Richard C. Meyer book when it was first coming out, back when Mark Wade went in and viciously interfered with the contract with Antarctic Press and bullied them into dropping it. I know that Brett R. Smith tweeted out and told me personally that he was going to, it was still going to come out, even though Antarctic had dropped it, and it was going to be distributed through Simon & Schuster. Well, we see in this Facebook group that Alex DeCampi, that's D with a D-E, Campi, C-A-M-P-I, she said, so I'm hearing that Jawbreakers Lost Souls is going to be distributed through Simon & Schuster. I have friends there. Somebody confirm this for me so I can go talk to them and make sure that this shit doesn't happen, which is, blatantly signaling that I'm going to go commit tortious interference with this contract. Now, it turns out that they didn't have a contract. Simon & Schuster wanted to distribute the book. Simon & Schuster made an offer to distribute the book, as did two other book publishers. And your boy Zach decided that, what? No, I'm going to crowdfund this thing. And he did well enough with it that, it's made a name for itself. But had he gone to Simon & Schuster, he'd have two lawsuits going right now for tortious interference, and she'd be the second one.
I dealt with her once. We were going to have her in for a signing, and I had to cancel the signing. It was Christmas time, and we couldn't do an independent signing at the store. And she sent me book plates, and she did promotion. And as far as like indie creators, she was absolutely fucking tireless automaton. All that stuff with the Whisper Network, that's creators bitching at creators, and
it is.
Unless somebody fucks with me, I mean, I don't care. Alex DeCampi was aces when I dealt with her, and I don't know.
You're right.
I treat these people the way they treat me. Everything that I've seen from her was just fucking.
I'm glad you're here, Larry. I'm glad you're here because you can paint the nice side of some people that we only see nasty sides of lately.
Well, it's true. I mean,
I'm nasty.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll tell people, like, when we're talking smack about other people, if you caught me at the wrong moment, you probably think I'm the biggest jerk ever. It's just, you don't know when you're going to see people, act the way they sometimes act. And it just happens to be, it gets blown up. A lot of people talk shit about like Sam Humphries, but he is a sweetheart. He just calls and says, I really appreciate you buying stuff.
Sam Humphries is an innovator. Do you know how Sam Humphries got his job?
Mm-mm.
He did. Everybody has a secret origin, how they break into the comic industry. Sam Humphries produced a book called Sacrifice, an indie book. All right. And he picked 15 stores that were loud on social media, and he sent them each on a Tuesday 50 copies of the book and said, hey, give these out to your customers. Let me know how it does. Sam Humphries. And I was on his list of people who was receiving the books, and it made bleeding cool. And the phone started ringing for people who wanted it. And he did something. He made the industry look. It was called micro. Sam Humphries created his own micro distribution network by just contacting 10 stores and getting his book on the shelf on Wednesday in fans' hands. and he made a splash on Bleeding Cool, and that made editors take notice of him and get him into the big companies. I've had nothing but respect for Sam Humphries and how he, you know what I mean, how he Trojan horsed his way into, you know, a major gig. I mean, that's pretty impressive to in this industry to do something unique that nobody else has done before. This is an industry of imitation. I mean, that's impressive. And I don't know him personally or who he's fucking bitch fighting with. I just know as a comic book creator, I liked his grit to get in the door.
All right.
I just know that he's been thrown under the bus a few times. And, you know, another guy that I think is really cool is Scott Snyder. You know, just
He's
one
the
day
best.
out of the blue.
He's the best.
I'm putting my comics away on a Tuesday night, you know, so that it can be ready for Wednesday. And I get a phone call. I usually don't answer the phone after hours. You know, I'm doing this work, and I do. And he chats me up for about an hour just because I bought a lot of witches.
I think Scott's got a screw loose because every single shop that I know, he calls them. The day that Batman #1 shipped, he saw on Twitter that I posted the amount that I bought. And he called my store and talked to us for 4 hours. And when we were closing the store, we had to hang up on him. I mean, he fucking calls everybody. He's the best. I mean, I love. He's just a very personable guy. He's super social. I mean, way to go,
Dave, start
Scott.
posting your numbers of Snyder books. You'll get your phone calls. You won't have to answer anybody else's call.
Good.
Well,
Good.
Guys, we're over time here.
Thanks for having me on. It's nice to meet all you guys.
Hey, we're glad to have you. Yeah, tell Nick we want him on. We'd love to have him on next week.
Okay, yeah, I will. I'm going to look into.
Steve
I want to
Jeffy
kind
on
of.
if we could
I'm
make
going to
it.
go up tonight and try to figure out the. I want to. Now I'm interested in why people are attacking poor Nick. I kind of want to read the. You get me interested of the salacious details. I try not to. I try to stay
all
out of all that
EVS.
shit.
It's all EVS stuff, you know. It is
because Nick and EVS are friends too. So
yeah.
I used to run a show in New England, and you know, once a month I would have a creator in, and I've met some of the most pretentious, dink, hard to manage creators that you can imagine. I had EVS in at the height of his popularity, right in Green Lantern Rebirth, when he was a fucking rock star, and that guy was so unbelievable to me, to my customers. EVS is the consummate professional. I mean, I love him. The best.
Before we head
best.
out here, Michael, when do you start sending your stuff into Overstreet for the annual guide? Is that coming up here anytime soon? Or are we past it?
The new Overstreet comes out. It was supposed to be out in July. Now it's going to come out in August. I wrote that back in November of last year. That's how far
the
ahead you
problem
have to
with
write it.
physics. That's the problem with paper market reports, man. That's what killed Wizard. I mean, as soon as you write it, it's out of date. I mean, it's very impressive that you're an Overstreet advisor. I love that, and I mean, maybe that's where I've seen your name. I love being on with you.
Well, I had
a
column in the Overstreet Comic Buyers Guide when they went magazine. I had a regular column on that one too.
I think I did a couple in that too. When it was
that was a good magazine,
the update.
but it went the same way as Wizard eventually.
Yep, I like CBG.
I was a Wizard price guide advisor with Ryan Panagos.
Ooh,
Yeah, they
that's
kept trying to
awesome.
get me on there, but I was doing the Comic Buyers Guide. I was doing the Overstreet. I was like, guys, I don't need to do another one. So I'm already doing two. But
I love the back market. I love the market of comic books. I just fucking live for it. It's the best.
Well, when November comes around,
I think the reason they both went out as Wizard stopped carrying a pricing section. Not long it was gone. The Comic Buyers Guide did the same thing.
I miss Wizard
The
every
pricing
single
section,
day.
and it's gone.
Yeah, me too. That
Wizzy Wednesday was the greatest week of the month. There was
It really
skip in
was.
everyone's step, a twinkle in that. It was magic.
I had the
I've got so many
wizard
of those
dump
wizard
at the
hats.
front of the register, and then you
Yep,
just
I
watch
used to
it shrink.
sing when my friends would come in. I'd sing, "It's Wizzy Wednesday." We'd all shriek like little girls. So
I
awesome.
gotta run, guys. So I'll talk
See ya.
to you. Okay?
Bye, Dave.
See ya.
see you, Dave.
Well,
Yeah, I've got a lot of those Wizard 1/2 issues. I love those things. Love the hell out of those things. And the one thing I remember about Wizard, I've got a signed Catwoman Cat Files trade paperback that I won from one of their contests. And I did not win their screenplay contest. They ran a screenplay contest, like write a screenplay for a superhero movie, and we'll pick a winner. And I turned in a Daredevil script that I pictured. I said, and here's the casting for it. So you get Jim Carrey to play Bullseye, and then you get somebody like names are escaping me the older I get. Who's the voice of Darth Vader? James Earl Jones. I said, you get James Earl Jones to play Kingpin. I said, you cast against type. Now, this was before the movie. This was before there was a Batfleck movie, Batfleck Daredevil movie. And then when I saw that movie, I'm like, that's the Elektra Kingpin Bullseye script that I wrote for Wizard.
I attended a Diamond event, a Diamond Warehouse event, where Todd McFarlane won an award for something, and we were sitting with Mr. Sheamus and the two Sheamus brothers, and Mr. Sheamus said to Gareb, will you win that award for me next year? And Gareb said, Dad, I'll win that award for you. And then they talked to Todd, and they bought the cover, but I sat with those guys when they were deciding to do Wizard, and they're kind of investigating the whole thing. Mr. Sheamus asked him if he'd win the award for him next year. And I still have Gareb's original business card.
You know what the joke used to be about how to spot a crooked dealer at a convention was that they bought by Overstreet and sold by Wizard. Because Wizard had those inflated prices. They told you what you wanted to hear.
No way, man. Wizard was the best because it was
not as
timely.
As Comics Value Monthly. Comics Value Monthly were the real crooked dealers, because those were like triple Wizard. That was the shitty Wizard that wasn't wrapped up and didn't come with free plastic stuff.
I miss Wizard. I miss Toy Fair.
Yeah, they're the best. The best. Wizards are friggin' phenomenal back issues now. People just love
they are. I thought I was like getting in on that early, but now everybody's on it.
Remember how
when you bought your store, what happened to the inventory? Like, who bought the inventory?
What? No, I started from scratch.
But didn't you buy a Legendary store in California?
No, all I did was replace a Legendary store in the same spot. Okay. There was another store that kind of took over, and they started up, but they're like kind of rinky dink, and I don't know. Berkeley, traffic-wise, isn't what it used to be, in early 2000. But we were always kind of a little bit more book-based, and only recently have we really started trying to work towards, really, because we've been amassing back issues during this time, because I just can't let them go away, when people come in. So I buy them.
Back issue specialist.
Yeah.
Start carrying back issues. The margins are there. Start learning it. Learn to love it. You love comic books. Become the source for people. People are hungry for that.
They are. I know they are.
I've never seen anything like it. Every retailer who's been in business for 10 years or more, your backstock that was once dragging you down, that was once an albatross around your neck. Intimate yourself with it. Learn about it. It's your lifeline out of this.
Dude, that's what I was doing all the day before coming to the show today, for this show. I was like all in the back issues. I'm like, all right, well, this is what I'm going to do. Because we just moved stores. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to take it. I'm going to alphabetize everything.
It's labor intensive, and to know it. It's fluid. It's constantly changing. I mean, the time it's taken us to do this podcast, the spec sites and news sites have caused, ripples that things have changed, and things that weren't in demand are now in demand. I mean, it's the greatest business in the world. I love it. But I'm just telling you, all these stores now that are Diamond, that if you're a Diamond Warehouse store and you're just a boutique for them, embrace your inventory and start doing that, man. It goes hand in hand with what you're doing, and you'll love it.
My favorite retailers in the world are the ones who have a huge backlot of back issues that they don't know about or know anything about. I went to a store in North Carolina, and it was a rinky-dink store, and the guy had no idea what he had in his back issue bins or what they were worth. I've got single-digit Silver Surfers that I did not pay a whole lot of money for.
Good for you.
Here's the thing: the guy had in his showcase. Now, in his showcase, he had something that was valuable. He had, and it was $500. No, it was more than $500. He had showcase number 4, and it was cherry.
My friends just had 3 copies of that at their store.
Oh,
They had
this was
three
was
copies
cherry.
of Showcase 4 walked in. I mean, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
I've had in 32 years, I've had 1 copy of that book. They had 3 at one time walk in the same month.
Well, he had it under his case, and I just would drool at it all the time. And then he had cash flow problems. He had to pay some bills. He ended up actually running a pretty decent store when he learned how to do stuff. Somebody took him under his wing from another store and said, "Here's how you run a comic store," and did well as a back issue store.
Nice.
But he's passed away now. His wife is running the store, and it's a successful business. But at the time, not so much. He ended up taking that Showcase 4 to another retailer in Raleigh, North Carolina, and selling it for $500 cash and some trade. I'm like, I would have bought that book for $500 cash, and you wouldn't have had to worry about any trade, because God, what is that going forward today?
Never.
Like,
If you're going to be a comic book retailer, you can never look back. You know what I mean? Just look for the next deal and the next transaction. I mean, I don't want to look back at what I've sold over the years. Just look forward. I mean, who cares? He got the $500 he needed. He paid his bill. It's all good.
Exactly. And it's gone. I mean, yeah, I look at the books that I've sold to pay bills when I was young and stupid, and
Don't
I
look
had.
back.
Yeah. My first Punisher, my Death of Gwen Stacy, all that stuff. I'm like, yeah. My all 3 issues of the Wolverine cameo in Incredible Hulk. Yeah,
I never worry about that stuff, though.
I have one awful story. In Magic the Gathering, when that first started, before organized play, we would run tournaments at the store on Friday night. You pay $25 to enter a tournament. You get free pizza and free drinks. And I would draw your name out of a paper bag, and it would be single elimination, last man standing, got a Black Lotus. I gave away 17 Black Lotuses, took all the winners' pictures, all the kids' pictures with Polaroids. A few years ago when I sold the building and I was going through 30 years of stuff, I came across the Polaroids, and I've started to look up the price of black. $35,000 is fucking life-changing. I gave away 17 of those things.
Wait, they're $35,000 a piece?
A piece, yeah. Now, $35,000 for a Black Lotus. I gave away 17 of them. First tournament, I couldn't afford a Black Lotus. I gave away a set of Moxes, and I was in the office, and I heard kids saying, "Fuck Larry, he doesn't appreciate us. Let's start our own tournament somewhere." And like a set of Moxes now is like 20 grand.
I had those. I was playing those at the Air Force Base when I was a contractor, and somebody come back from convention and said, "Hey, look, there's this new game that came out," and they were all black borders at the time. We all got into that, and I had a tiny little deck with a short E, guys. Okay?
It's not the size of your deck; it's how you use it.
Exactly. And what I did was I read the entire rule book, and it's like, it was all about, you gain life for this, you lose life for this, you get down to 0 life, you lose the game. And then like on the very last page, it talks about how your deck runs, and your graveyard says, if you run out of cards, you lose. I'm like, that's the rule.
So you did a mill deck, and you made them lose their cards.
I did a mill deck with Tormod's Crypt and Time Twister.
My greatest deck was a pacifism deck, where I didn't attack you, but you couldn't attack me. And it's just frustrating, and that's what would happen.
It is frustrating.
Eventually, one of us would run out of cards. People fucking hated me.
I moved away for a year. Nobody played where I was. I came back. I didn't want to get back into it. I sold.
Yep,
the
you
deck
didn't understand
for like
the game.
$200. Yeah, cool. I came back and it was like, flanking. What do you mean you're flanking? I don't know what flanking is. I attack and I defend. And now I look at the cards and I'm like, I have no idea the terminology they're talking about on these new cards.
Oh, they're fun.
I'm glad I got out of it. But yeah, my Time Twister was my magical card.
Fellas, thank you so much for having me on. It was a pleasure.
We're all
great meeting you guys.
Good to hang out with you again, Larry. You always inspire me to be a better comic shop owner.
You seem like You seem like you're a fucking great comic shop owner. I'd
I
love to
appreciate
come out and
that.
see you sometime.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. I
all right,
want to
guys.
like be able to leave the state sometime too.
Well, we hope
Take
to
it
see you all
easy.
again next 2 weeks from now. We'll meet again, Larry. I'm glad to have you back again, and we'll
That'd be great.
we'll come up with a whole. We do this every 2 weeks. So we started right when COVID hit because we wanted to show the audience how you guys were working to survive.
Yeah,
and,
that's when I get into it. That's when I creeped down to my dirty cellar and I turned my phone on and I went on a couple of them.
Yeah, we just kind of stuck
I don't know.
around since
I like
then.
to- I like doing it. I'd like to, I don't know, get a better space and
All right,
be
well,
better at it. I don't know.
You're
It's fun.
welcome among us. And with that, I'm just going to close out the show. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you all in 2 weeks.
Thanks.
Thanks. Have fun.
See you later, guys.
Hi. Thanks for stopping by for another Critical Blast video. The internet is a big place, and we know there are lots of other places you could be other than here, and we appreciate you being here immensely. If you enjoyed this kind of content, we hope you'll return for more. If you click the subscribe button, you'll get a little notification of when we produce new video content. If you would like to help the channel out, there are many ways to do so. Just visiting our main hub, criticalblast.com, will do wonders. But if you're more of a show me the merchandise type of person, there are links in the description of this video to our t-shirt shop, as well as links to Amazon for the books we publish under the Critical Blast Publishing imprint, including the urban fantasy anthology Gods and Services and the YA superhero novel Bulletproof by Stephen J. Mitchell. Thanks again for visiting this video.